You know, I have always loved your work, and I really wanted to get a little bit more information about what inspires you, what crazy antics it takes to create such magnificent pieces. And, you know, the fact that you, as you said a minute ago, you're more than just a triple threat, because you do glass blowing, you do casting of glass, which is crazy in itself, and then you do the stacked glass, and you also do metal work and bronze work.
Yeah.
So that's a super duper threat combo. So tell us a little bit about this piece and how long each of these things is individually blown and placed.
Well, the piece as a whole came about. I used to make these outdoor planter pieces that people kept requesting, and I didn't really feel a huge connection to them.
Okay.
So somebody asked me to come to their house to talk about one of those, and I said, how about we do something totally different? I've been thinking about this. I sketched up a rectangular one like that, and they said, sure, let's try that. And I was just excited to do something different, but as I was building it and figuring out how to build it, there was this kind of visceral reaction to the way it was coming together visually, that it was a sense of the unknown. It was this kind of alien presence, and so I wound up calling this whole series Cathanesthesia, this combination of Cthulhu, this Lovecraftian monster that represented the unknown, and synesthesia, which is a kind of a cross wiring in the brain, so you interpret the senses with different senses. You'll see sounds, you'll smell colors, you'll...
Wow, okay.
So yeah, there was just this very tangible kind of sensation in building this that was just of a strange alien place. And so they became kind of portals to different questions. I think they're a series about searching for truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's marvelous. I mean, very deep. And all of these, do you know what these are going to turn out like before you do them, or do you make them and then figure out how to assemble them?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I know on a piece like this, I know there are places where they have to be shorter, they have to be less spirally, they have to be X, Y, or Z. So I'll have a rough count of how many I need for the different sections, and then I'll make a dozen extra, 2 dozen extra.
Okay.
And then put everything together just in place.
Okay. This red one at the end, I love how you got this with the light coming through it, and you could place that in somebody's home, and you could...
Well, these are good for indoor or
outdoor. Okay.
Yeah, these do well outside. I've only been doing these for about a year and change, but first one I did went outside someone's front door on the wall in their entryway, and they've come in for the last 2 years and no complaints.
Great.
So.
That's awesome. And I imagine you could have something done with lighting.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Okay. Those are great.
These look pretty spectacular if you run a light inside the frame. They glow.
Yeah. So Seth, one of the things I love about your work is, like you just described, the series that you did and how you put different names with your things. You're very cerebral as well as artistic. So there's a good balance between right brain, left brain with you. This one, you've got the cast glass combined with the metal and a bronze guy. So you've got 3 different elements all in one.
Yeah.
So talk about how this came to be.
My assistant that I used to have grew up in a very religious household, and we were talking about commitments and things like that. And so in that discussion, this idea kind of came about of the relationship between like the symbolic nature of baptism and then just the idea of committing yourself to something. And so this is I called this piece baptism, but really it has to do with committing yourself to anything that you have in mind, and anything that's important to you. It doesn't have any real religious connotation. It's just the idea of making a commitment and sticking to it.
And just fully embracing what you're facing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I love it. And so do you sculpt him out of clay?
This one was actually, I was experimenting a little bit with digital modeling. So I made this guy out in a computer program, and then built off of that to actually cast it in bronze. I didn't want to take, the 2 weeks I needed to sculpt everything perfectly on this figure. I wanted this piece as a whole to speak for itself without, and it was a way of streamlining the process and trying bringing something new into it.
Well, I just love the mixed media aspect of it. And we have your photo transfer on blown glass here. And we have a really fascinating signature piece that we're going to take a look at next. So tell us about this piece, what inspired it, and how the heck did you do it?
So this, I was, when I was a kid, I used to sit on the bathroom counter and play with the mirrors and in the medicine cabinet, and then the mirror on the wall, and bend them towards each other, and I would always imagine what's right behind that corner. What's one little bit farther than I can see.
I did that too.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a universal thing. But with these pieces kind of being about questions and about mysteries, I wanted to explore that mystery. So there's a mirror mounted in the back of it, and then there's a one-way mirror in the front of it. So with the light on the inside of the frame, it creates a mirror finish that reflects back and forth that you are still able to see through.
That's so cool. And it can change colors.
Yeah. There's a receiver, so you can play with the light and make different patterns. You can make it move and respond to sound. You can make it just cycle through different things. But it's really kind of endlessly customizable and the way that light changes the depth inside of it, I think is really interesting. And
that white color, I feel like almost underwater sea urchin sort of.
Yeah, it's very sedate, it's very quiet, but kind of going back to the idea of a mystery, some of these mysteries don't get solved. They're endless. They're mysteries for the ages that you can be looking for truth and just keep looking, and it's something that you can't ever really answer.
And what is the title of this piece?
Infinity.
Infinity. That's perfect. Well, Seth, I'm so glad that we took some time to explore your work a little bit.
Thanks for coming.
We're here till March 30th, 2025. So if you see this before then, come on in and meet Seth in person.
Mm-hmm. I'm not here Wednesday.
It will live infinitely on our social media platforms.
Yeah.
So, again,